Clevervizion.com. I go by the name of the Kid Clever, and man, we are at one of the most legendary jazz clubs in the world, Baker's, man, Detroit, and all over the world, the oldest jazz club it is. And what is it like for us to be at a legendary place without having a legendary guest? We got the funny man with flavor, comedian Coolaide. What's going on, man?
Hey, legendary status. What's happening, man? I reached legendary status?
Yeah, you know you up there, man.
That's what's up. I see the layout, man, so I feel like I'm legendary, man. I appreciate you going all out for this, man. It's a good look.
Oh, man, you know we had to do it for you. So we at Baker's, where you do a comedy night every Monday night.
You got to say the full name, Baker's Keyboard Lounge. You got to put that spin on it.
Okay, Baker's Keyboard Lounge.
Yeah, Baker's Keyboard Lounge.
How long have you been doing this room altogether?
My memory ain't the best, but I would say probably about 4 or 5 years. Every week. Consistently.
Crazy.
Every week consistently.
And it be packed every week.
Yeah, but you know why, right?
Why is that?
It's free. It's free to get in. That get the people in here, because I really wanted the platform for comedians to show off they talent. And this place was I really wanted to do it here because they had a stage, it had the good lighting, good microphone. It was set up because we typically be performing in bars.
Right.
When we got to compete with the TV, the pool tables. We ain't got to do none of that here. This is set up strictly for entertainment purposes. So I really wanted to perform here. It wasn't about the money.
Okay. Yeah, Baker's is the perfect place. It's legendary status, man. So how did you get your start in comedy?
Oh, it's kind of a long story. How much time we got?
Oh, we got a little bit of time.
All right. I started basically, it was like writing jokes, man, before right after high school or late. My second time in 12th grade, I had to repeat the 12th grade. My second time in 12th grade, I would start writing jokes, not knowing if I'm ever going on stage, just thinking I'm funny, but I don't know if I'm ever going on stage, right? So I was working at Burger King, man, and this guy, a coworker, I can't remember his name, but he told me he cut out a newspaper clipping, brought it to the job, and was like, "Look, man, you should get in. It was a talent show, Apollo style talent show."
Okay, where was that at?
It was at the Wayne State campus at a place called Rackham Memorial Auditorium. It might be still there, but he cut it out and was like, "Look, dog, you should get in this talent show. You funny, man." And I was just impressed that he thought that I ain't really tell nobody I was a comedian. He just thought I was funny. So I was like, "Dang, man, okay." And I called the number and I got in the talent show. Not my first time ever on stage.
Wow, how'd you do in the talent show?
Man, let me say this. My first time ever on stage is my best time ever. I've been doing comedy over 20 years.
Wow.
My first time ever on stage was the best feeling ever. In 20-some years, still to this day, still the best time. Because I went there, they had an audition process back then. So it wasn't like you could just sign up, you in there. They like, come show us what you got. So I showed them what we got. And throughout the audition process, it was a group called UNV. Now, I don't know, it's before your time, but they was real good. Madonna signed them and everything. So they was real good. We heard them. The other contestants heard them singing. We was like, oh, they got this. They got this. They gonna win this. They cold. So they picked me to perform. And then the night of the show, like I said, it was a Apollo-style talent show. UNV went out first. They got booed.
What?
So all the contestants was like, oh, man, this is crazy. We're not going to do nothing with this. No. So, but I went out there, and my mom, my sister, my brother, my neighbors, they came. My first time ever on stage, they in the audience, right? And I went out there. I did good. I didn't get booed. That was the goal, not get booed.
Right.
So I didn't get booed. Then they called everybody else back, like, they're going to announce the winners, and I won.
Wow.
My first time ever on stage, I won $100. It wasn't the fact that I won, just the fact that my family was there, and they was able to, like, stand up and like, yeah, you won. And I learned about business that day because I was so excited that I won the talent show. I took the trophy home and didn't take the $500. It was a $500 prize. So when I got home, I was like, dang, I forgot the money.
Right.
So I called the lady. And she was like, well, we no longer give out cash prizes.
Wow.
And I was like, no, it's in this contract I signed. So she was like, okay, well, come get it tomorrow. I forget her name, but if I would shout her out, but I forget her name. But I found out about business that day, my first time ever on stage.
Welcome to show business.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. It made me look at things differently, man. Made me look at things differently, definitely.
So I heard early on you had rooms, like you had a room at the River Rock?
Yeah, River Rock, $2 Tuesday.
Was that one of your first rooms? Or?
Yeah, one of my first rooms, yep.
Okay.
I think Tony Roberts had it before me, and when he left, they needed a host, and they picked me. And the room was fabulous, man. It was cold. It was a nice room, and it was just hip hop is. It was more like everybody. It was a party afterwards.
Okay.
So they didn't really come for the comedy, but I was hosting the comedy show. They didn't come for that, but I made them enjoy it while they was there. Cause the place was gonna be packed regardless if it was
Friday night.
No, it was actually Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
You said Tuesday.
It was $2 Tuesday, and it was packed. And it was $2 before a certain time, like $2 before 9.
Okay.
People would get there before 9, but they'll hold the line up. So you get there at 8:40, but they're like, no, wait right here.
Right.
And you're like, come on, man, it's gonna be $15 in a minute.
Right at 15.
But it was $2 Tuesday was that joint, and a lot of comics didn't want to do it just because of the party atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't the same as the comedy club atmosphere. The attention span ain't like it is at a comedy club. So a lot of comics didn't want to do it. So most of the time it'd just be me and another dude, and I have to stay on stage a lot longer. I didn't mind, but it was a nice spot.
So talk about that. Like you said, you mentioned like it's not as many traditional comedy clubs. A lot of times you have bars and at stages. How does that help you as a comedian?
It helped you prepare for almost any scenario.
Okay.
It make you become a Swiss Army comedian. You prepare for anything. You like, okay, I can handle this. I can handle white crowd. I can handle ghetto crowd. I can handle a clean crowd. I can handle all this. Because you never know when you go to a bar, you might get a comedy club atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It might on a certain night you might get a crowd that's sitting there watching you and not saying nothing. So you could do that type of material. Then you come to the bar situation. Then you got somebody heckling you. Shut up, man, shut up. Then you got to go in on it. Then you got some nights where it just prepare you for everything, man. Like from Detroit, the hard rooms here are really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Comedians from Detroit go out of town, and another comic be like, I don't know if you want to do this club. This club hard. And then you get there, and you be like, this y'all version of hard? No, y'all don't know hard. You be like, this ain't nothing. So Detroit comedians experience that a lot. Like other comedians be out of town, be like, yeah, this room hard, man. No, this room ain't hard, man. This is easy breeze.
So Detroit toughens you up to be able to go all over.
Definitely, man. Make your skin thick. You can deal with anything, man. You can deal with a lot of stuff.
So it prepare you for stuff like even TV, what you experienced. You did Bill Bellamy's Who's Got Jokes, right?
Yeah.
And you also did Comic View.
Yeah.
What were those experiences?
I did
like?
hold on. I did Kevin Hart One Mic Stand.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I did that. I did Robert Townsend, Next Partners in Crime.
Okay.
I did that. Yeah, I did. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. That was those experiences was beautiful, man. TV, it just now you got to be smart enough to know it's a bigger goal when you are doing the hood rooms. Mm-hmm. You got to be smart enough to know, like, okay, it's more outside of this. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, you'll go on TV looking like you're performing in a bar. Mm-hmm. So as a comic, you got to wisen up. And like, okay, I'm performing at a bar, but I know my goal is to not perform in this bar. So, but and I was smart enough to do that, to know that, okay, I can't perform like I'm at a bar when I'm on TV. Mm-hmm. So that comes from watching other comics too. Because if you watch other comics in a bar, of course, it might be that same way. So, but TV is dope, man. I love it.
What was your first TV appearance?
Comic View.
Okay. And
it was BET. Yeah, he was like BET Comic View. Yeah, the real old school when it was in California, man. At Gardena, California.
Who was hosting it? Who was hosting it then?
The first time. I can't remember. That's how long ago. I know they still had Ronaldo Ray on there.
Oh, wow. He was
remember
behind
that?
the bar?
Yeah, Ronaldo Ray in Comic View. Yeah, that was my first time doing it. And what's cool is I went out there with a whole bunch of Detroit comedians. I think Martini Harris, Marianne DeMar, Snow Cone, and we was all like just out there kicking it, just like family. And that gave all of us comfort to know we could do this. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Like speaking of Detroit comedians, like who was like in your class, like comedians that you came up with, that you rock with heavy?
Spanky Hayes, Joe Blunt, Tony Roberts, and the comics above me a little bit. Well, that was Mike Bonner that we looked up to and still do. Mike Bonner, Tommy Chun, Skeeter Murray. Of course, downtown Tony Browne, Coco was in my class. When I started, she was in the game already, but she was still kind of new. Yeah, that's about it, man. Yeah.
So you said so when you first came in, who was the big dog? Like, was it like downtown?
To me, and that's what this interview is about. To me, downtown Tony Browne. Always the big dog, man. So underrated, man. So underrated. If the world saw him, he would be up there with Bernie Mac. It's just like, he just that talented. He talented. Tony Browne is the big dog to me.
Yeah, so you, like you said, we touched on TV, being on TV appearances, and you also did radio here, right?
Yeah, I did radio. That was awesome.
That was with Radio 1?
Yeah, it was Radio 1. That was dope. I ain't wheezed my way in there. It just happened. It just basically fell in my lap. I was on the comedy show. They sent me to the radio station to shoot a commercial.
Okay.
And while I was there to shoot the commercial, Lieutenant Dre was on the morning show with Sugar Ray.
Okay.
And he asked me, hey man, come in on Wednesday. Come sit with us on Wednesday. So I went on Wednesday and sat with him. And it was cool. And somehow Lieutenant Dre, either he quit or got fired. Lieutenant Dre. So they moved Sugar Ray into the head spot. And they needed somebody else to sit in the other chair. So they was like, hey, call the comedian, get Coolaide up here.
Wow, so he was on a morning show?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Sugar Ray had her own morning show, man. She had her own morning show. And then probably, I feel bad, man, because she didn't have a lot to work with, man, because normally when you have a morning show, you got like some seasoned vets to assist you. She had me, a green dude. I was totally green. Never been on the radio before. I was funny, but I didn't know radio. Like I grew to learn it. But it was her first time being in the morning show. That was a big deal for her. And for me to come in and not being that knowledgeable about it, it was like she's working with one hand behind her back. It was like, I felt bad, like looking back on it. I'm like, dang, if I could have been, but looking back, I was like, dang, she couldn't have won.
But y'all made it work. Then you did the show with AP as well, right?
Yeah, well, I was on with AP. We was on in the afternoon. And AP was I was a little more knowledgeable then, so I had a little more freedom. I learned what to say, what I can get away with, how I can go to the edge and not go over it. So it was more fun. I ain't gonna say it was more fun. It was fun. The radio was fun anyway. But I was a little more looser because I knew more. You know, I was learning with Sugar Ray. If I would have knew, we probably still had a morning show. Sugar's House. Yeah, that was dope, man. Sugar's House.
Yeah. So you got I'm looking at your timeline. You got a couple comedian friends that get well respected, like Lil Duval. I see y'all.
That's
got a
my man.
Close relationship.
Yeah. That's my dog, man.
How did y'all get cool?
Man, I think it just came from, it was a Detroit guy who owned the comedy club here in Detroit and Atlanta. He owned both comedy clubs. Okay. So comedians Duval live in Atlanta now.
Okay.
So he lived in Atlanta. So comedians would go back and forth to Detroit and Atlanta. We'd see each other all the time. And when I go to Atlanta, we'd just link up and just talk, just kick it on some, what up, man, what up? And then he come here, it'd be the same thing. And he just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he just had the opportunity to take some dudes on the road with him. And he was like, what up, man? Come on. I was like, I did one show, and I'm like, okay, where you going next? He's like, no, where we going next?
Wow.
It was like, we going here, we going there, we going there, man. The dude just showed me so much love, man, and I can't thank the dude. I can't say nothing but thank you.
Shout out to Duval.
Yeah, man. That's my little dude, man. He almost famous. I always say he almost famous. You ain't there yet. You almost there. That's my dog.
Yeah. So another room you have is Nick's Gaslight.
Yeah.
That's every second?
Every second Saturday of the month. Saturday. That's my baby. Every second Saturday of the month. We do 2 shows. I bring in out-of-town comics.
You have some heavy hitters coming through there, too.
I had Benji Browne, Lil Rel, Alex Thomas, Pierre, and just even people who stopped by. Mike Epps did a show at the Fox. He came by, went on stage.
Corey Holcomb.
Deion Cole. I got relationships with these guys, so they're in town. I can't afford for them to book them, but they still come by and they show me love, man. And it's just comedy is like a fraternity. We don't see each other all the time, but when we do, it's all love. So, yeah, Nick's Gaslight, every second Saturday of the month, man. I put blood, sweat, and tears in that, and I've been doing that about 8 years.
Yeah, and it shows, man. Like I said, it's packed out shows. Me, for just learning comedy and just seeing how it works, it takes a lot to put a lot of people in a room and consistently do it, and it speaks a lot to your relationships and the type of person that you are to have these big names come through there and bless the stage and just show love, period, man.
You never know who's going to show up at Nick's Gaslight. Never know. Never know.
Yeah. And another thing you do I like, you also, when you bring a big name in, you put, the up-and-coming comedians that's doing that thing. What makes you have such a special heart for the up-and-coming comedians?
it's the love I got for the game. I don't want to see the game disrespected in no way. You know what I'm saying? Like I see comics who disrespect the game, but I can't do that. And I've been a younger comic before, so I know how hard it is to get on shows. So I'm not going. I welcome younger comics. You know what I'm saying? So if I can get them opportunity, a stage to perform on, I do it. It just boils down to me being a younger comic before, and I know how hard it was, and I don't want to see them go through that.
Yeah. Another time I brought up the first time I met you, the first time I ever seen stand-up comedy ever happen, like in person. You came and did a show at Oak Park High.
Make me feel old. I can't hit high school to tell jokes, man.
Yeah, he came to my high school, and we were in the gymnasium, and it was me and another guy by the name of Clayton Thomas, who's a comedian now. And you asked me, you was like, is it a fat security guard here? I'm like, yeah, Coach Stevens. You was like, all right, I'm gonna get him. And then I'm like, I don't know why he asked me that. Then you went on stage and was like, I almost didn't make it here, You know, our security was sweating me. He wasn't looking for guns or whatever, but he was looking for candy, cookies, and everything.
Okay, I remember
like that. And he was like, where's Coach Stevens? And everybody was like, oh. And I'm like,
total room up.
It went crazy. So I was like, oh, so that's what comedy is. You take something that you have that you know is funny and make it relatable to other
definitely.
people.
I learned that, man, because like even if you're in a situation, like say if somebody asked me to do a wedding, right? Say you asked me to perform at your wedding, and I have a joke set up, I will rearrange the opening of that joke to make it sound like it's specifically for you. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, man, he told me his wife, and then I'll go into a joke I already got. So that's little things I learned, making it personable and making people feel invited into your show. So yeah.
Okay. So I got 2 more questions, and we're gonna wrap it up, man. So
just 2? Come on, man. All right.
So
you bought all these cameras out, that's it.
So like your writing style, like how do you write? Do you normally write all the time? Do you write in your head, or how do you write?
I wouldn't say I write all the time, but I do write in my head, and I keep a topic with me. Say like the topic is fitted cats. I keep that topic with me, and I just think about it and dwell on it the whole day. Fitted hat, figuring out which direction I can go with it. And the 2 words I use in my writing style is imagination and exaggeration. I imagine something, and then exaggerate on it. Okay. And then I put my own personal spin on it. So that's how I come up with my jokes. All comedians are different. Like Downtown Tony Brown don't even write jokes. He just go on stage and, you know what I'm saying? Like he the Jay-Z of this thing. So all comedians are different, I think, when it comes to writing jokes.
That's dope. That's dope. And then my next question is a double question, so I'm kind of cheating here or whatever. But what do you see next for you as far as comedy is concerned, and how would you like to be remembered when you lay the microphone down and you're done with comedy? How would you like to be remembered?
The next thing for me is I really want to write a movie, man. I want to write. I be seeing like local people. I want to call them local, but be Detroiters. Yeah, I see Detroiters like doing their own thing and writing their own movies and doing it, just putting the whole thing out there. And I'm like, I could do that. I'm sitting on my hands, man. I'm holding myself hostage, so I just gotta let go and do that. So that's the next thing I want to do. Okay. And build up my social media fan base, because you know I'm like the elder spokesman, and social media is new to me. I'm not on Snapchat yet. I got an app. I got it, but I don't be snapping. I got Instagram and Facebook, but I got to build up the social media thing. And the next thing I want to do is really write a script. Okay. Because it's not that. I ain't gonna say it's not expensive to get done, but it can't be that expensive because a lot of people doing it. It's possible for me to do it. Definitely. So, and to be remembered for how I want to be remembered, man, just as a funny, good guy. Just the dude was funny and he was a good dude. I want to be more than just funny. I want to be the good dude. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of comedians, they got horrible spirits and just not good people. I want to be a funny, good dude that everybody had love for. That's what I want. I want to be. I want to be loved.
You got a lot of love out here.
I want to be loved.
Man, like I said, big bro, Coolaide, man, I appreciate you for your time and everything.
Thanks for telling people I performed at your high school, man. I appreciate that. Now they know I'm 27 years old.
And how can the people get in contact with you?
My Facebook. The Facebook made me use my real name, man. They made me use my real name.
The government.
Yeah, man. But it's out there, so I'm going to say it. Tarome Wright. Tarome. Last name right, Wright. My Instagram is Funny Coolaide, but I spell Coolaide Coolaide. Don't be putting the K. Coolaide. Funny Coolaide on Instagram. That's how you can touch me. And if you're cute, you can call me at 313. No, I'm
you gonna
joking.
get the number up?
No, hell no.
You know you can always catch them right here at clevervizion.com. We out.
We gone.